Hi, my name is Nurul Farisha Azira Nadia binti Sharul Zamzari and my student number is 2025X636X6. So today I'm going to talk about walled garden or castle. So first of all, I'm going to talk about a list of content in this topic. So we have introduction, background, function, features, plan material, design, layout, master plan, conclusion and reference. So, for the introduction is, a walled garden is a garden enclosed by high walls, especially when this is done for horticultural rather than security purpose. Although originally, all garden may have been enclosed for protection from animal or human intruders. In temperature climates, especially cooler areas such as Scotland, the essential function of the walling of a garden is to shelter the garden from wind and force, though it may also serve a decorative purpose. Kitchen garden were very often walled, which segregated them socially, allowing the gardens, who were usually expected to vanish from the pleasure gardens. When the occupants of the house were likely to be about to continue their works. The walls, which we sometimes heated, also carry fruit trees trained as espaliers. So, I'm going to talk about a background for this topic. In history, walled garden became especially popular from the 19th to 60th centuries, often associated a large estates, monasteries, and manor house. It can be sustainable, created from scratch using reclaimed materials. They can also be created in all industrial and agricultural sites where the roof of structure are no longer in good repair. Reclaim space and also make excellent walled garden. That is the main purpose in landscape such as creating of microclimate. Enclosing walls can raise the ambient temperature within a garden by several degrees, creating a microclimate that permits plants to be grown. There will be no survive in the unmodified local climate. Now I'm going to talk about walled garden features. So, in my opinion, a walled garden is more defensive, functional, and historic version of a typical walled garden. It combines food, production, protection, and simple aesthetic influenced by medieval life. So, there are some features for walled garden, such as defensive wall, kitchen garden, water source, or microclimate use. So, for defensive wall, it is higher and thicker than normal garden wall. It built with a quality stone, not just a normal brick. It can function as a security the gardening. And for the kitchen garden, it is more focused on food production than decoration. Fruit trees often grow along walls. And for water source, it is rainwater collection, simple irrigation, and it is essential for a survival or daily use. For the notes it is not as decorative because it purely functional. For microclimate use, it is a wind protection inside the enclosure. So the soft facing wall using for synthetic growth. And the note is it is important in cooler regions. And there are functional walled garden, as we know, as a microclimate creation, vertical surface or privacy. So for the microclimate creation, the wall can enable productivity even in challenging conditions. It is also can allow for greater productivity in the higher summer heat. And for the vertical surface, it can provide a range of options for vertical growing, can support more heavier and sturdier structure. And for privacy, it can protect from the traffic noise, other outside distraction, and away from the stress and strain of daily life. So that's all for me, and now we are going to pass this slide to my partner. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nu'aim Patricia and my student ID is 2025466192, and I'll be talking about walled garden plant materials. And For plant material, it has climbing and wall plants, for example, apple, palm, and cherry. And the function is to maximize space and improve microclimate. The next is structural plants, for example, Ficus benjamina and frangipani, and the function is to create hierarchy. The next is ground covers and lawn, for example, philodendron or cowgrass, which is common in Malaysia. The function are to control heat and improve walkability. The last but not least, productive plant for kitchen, for example, chili, lemongrass, and papaya, and the function is for sustainability and daily use. The next one is wall garden design. For design, the traditional design of a walled garden split into 4 quarters separated by paths and a wellhead or pool at the center dates back to the very earliest garden of Persia. And for the next one, the hortus conclusus or enclosed garden of high medieval Europe was more typically enclosed by hedge or fencing or the arcades of a cloister. And the last one, it is used for some protection from weather or effective protection from straying animals was afforded. These were not specifically walled gardens. The next is layout. For layout, the shape comes from purpose. It is like an upper air room. The wall defines its edges the same way walls define a hall or courtyard. The spaces are layered like level. The wall gardens are often laid out in a neat section, sometimes in grid pattern. And lastly, it is built to use by people. The inside become calmer and more stable for people to use, and the layout is usually simple and organized. For the master plan, a walled garden in a castle is a planned outdoor space enclosed by stone or brick walls that provide privacy, protection, and controlled environment. In the castle master plan, the walled garden is usually placed inside or near the inner courtyard. The walled garden reflects principle of structure and symmetry. The walls act as boundaries that define space, guide movement, and create visual balance within the castle layout. The garden also softened the hard appearances of stone architecture by introducing greenery, color, and natural elements, creating harmony between nature and built form. In a master plan, the walled garden functions as both an aesthetic and practical element because it improves circulation, enhances view, and provides relaxation spaces. Here are the resources that we use for this video. There are some from website and also some from YouTube video. So for conclusion, the study of castle and walled gardens layout shows how architecture is shaped by practical needs and not just appearances. Castle demonstrate clear organization through layered space and control movement, all designed to provide safety and order. Together, both elements highlight how design responds to function, environment, and social structure. And overall, castle and walled garden architecture illustrate how built form can shape human experience by organizing space in a clear and purposeful way. Here are some pictures for castle and walled gardens. And that is all from us. Thank you.